That iconic venom-spitting dinosaur? And honestly, for a paleontologist, it's just frustrating as hell.
For the next few minutes, we're gonna shatter those myths. We're gonna use real science and real fossil evidence.
Welcome to Prehistoric Planet 3D, the channel where we stop speculating and start showing the truth. We are here to set the record straight. Ready to see the real monsters? Hit that subscribe button right now. You're about to witness the ultimate scientific deep dive. Let's get into it.
Let's kick this off with the granddaddy of all movie lives, the Dilophosaurus. I mean, if you watch the movies, you saw this little guy, kinda goofy.
It was a cheap, effective jump scare, right? Wrong. Absolutely, unequivocally wrong.
This is the kind of stuff that drives a paleontologist nuts. The Dilophosaurus of the late Jurassic was not a...
There is zero evidence, I repeat, zero, of any venom sacs, spitting mechanisms, or a throat frill in the fossil record.
The real terrifying aspect of this animal comes from its anatomy. Those teeth aren't meant for piercing like a tyrannosaur. They are built for shearing, for ripping off huge chunks of flesh,
which were probably used for display. Maybe to impress a mate, maybe to intimidate a rival.
But here's the key takeaway that Hollywood missed. By giving it a cheap, venomous parlor trick, they
The real Dilophosaurus didn't need to spit venom like a weak snake. It was a pure, physical apex predator of its...
You wouldn't want to meet either version, but the truth is the actual dinosaur would have been a far quicker and, frankly, more humbling end for you.
They just...
Big, dumb, gentle cows of the Jurassic. But this is where science gets truly mind-blowing.
When you look at a Brachiosaurus, an animal that could weigh up to 70 toes, you're not looking at a gentle cow.
The physics alone are insane. This thing would have needed a circulatory system capable of generating blood pressure so high, it would...
Think about that for a second. This dinosaur was essentially a highly pressurized living water tower.
If you were standing near one of these beasts and it got spooked and decided to swing that tail, which is essentially a massive prehistoric...
Hollywood showed you a majestic, slow-moving creature. Science shows you a gargantuan machine.
They weren't just big. They were hardwired for survival at an impossible scale.
Here's the problem, and this is where the paleontologist in me just throws my hands up. That wasn't a Velociraptor. It wasn't even from the Jurassic period.
The real Velociraptor lived much later, in the Cretaceous period, and frankly, if you met one in person, you'd probably think it was Hollywood actually based their monster on a much larger, close cousin called Deinonychus, and later, the even bigger Utah Raptor.
And the biggest, most undeniable scientific truth they ignored? Feathers. Fossil evidence is overwhelming now.
These giants. The movie design choice to make them scaly and lizard-like was purely for aesthetics, because apparently a giant
But I argue the feathered version is more terrifying. It connects them directly to modern birds, showing a continuous... Hollywood sold you a lizard. Science gives you a bird of prey on steroids. The lie is that they tried to simplify and dull down the creature.
Let's move on to the classic Jurassic herbivore that everyone loves, the Stegosaurus. With those massive... And that's exactly how the movies treat it. A slow, lumbering beast that occasionally defends itself.
The truth is that if you encountered a real, living Stegosaurus, your biggest problem wouldn't be its plates. It would be its speed and maneuverability.
giants. The movie design choice to make them scaly and lizard-like was purely for aesthetics, because apparently a giant
giving it the perfect angle to deploy its main defense, the tail. That tail, known scientifically as the Thagomizer, was an instrument of death.
We found Allosaurus fossils with clean puncture wounds that perfectly match these spikes. This wasn't some passive weapon it dragged.
And those dorsal plates. Hollywood suggested they were decorative. Science says they were highly vascularized. But the biggest takeaway is this. The Stegosaurus was not a victim waiting to be rescued. It was a highly... You'd be dead before you even realized it was fast. We've saved the most egregious error for last, and this is the one that truly shows Hollywood's obsession with a single star. The Allosaurus.
In the movies, if they feature an Allosaurus, it's usually the undercard, the punching bag, the guy who gets easily beaten by the main star, often a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
This is a massive insult to the true kink of the late Jurassic. The Allosaurus was the undisputed, dominant... It would open its jaws incredibly wide, using its skull not for a grinding bite, but as a giant serrated hatchet. Here's the stunning scientific revelation. The Allosaurus did not have the bone-crushing bite force of the later T-Rex. Paleontologists theorized that the Allosaurus utilized a completely different, much more brutal killing method, the Hatchet Attack. It would open its jaws incredibly wide, using its skull not for a grinding bite, but as a giant serrated hatchet. Using its razor-sharp teeth to slice out massive, clean chunks of flesh, causing rapid, catastrophic blood loss. It was a predator that relied on precision, speed, and massive, debilitating wounds, not brute force.
What? Everything else is just background noise.
So there you have it. The 5 biggest lies that defined a generation's view of the Jurassic period have been thoroughly debunked. Thank you for joining us on this critical deep dive into prehistory. We exist to show you the truth, powered by the best science. The movie as Raptor was the wrong size, the wrong species, and from the wrong time. The Stegosaurus was a flexible...
into which, and this is the message I want to leave you with, the frustration as we share, as we dig up the actual history.
It is already the most brutal, complex, and beautiful story ever told. We don't need the frills and the venom sac.
Thank you for joining us on this critical deep dive into prehistory. We exist to show you the truth, powered by the best science.
If you're ready to ditch the movie myths and exploring the most accurately being
We have so many more giants, mysteries, and debunked lies to explore together.
Until the next journey back in time, keep questioning everything.
AR 6R16R side verse 9.
This remarkable fossil reveals the intricate, pebbled texture of a dinosaur's hide, preserved across millions of years.
Welcome to the Cretaceous period, a vibrant yet volatile world where life fiercely thrived amidst the constant threat of eruption.
AR 16 Burras 9.
AR 116 Cat with 9.
The grueling work of a fossil dig.
Requires patience and precision.
Specimen, like particularly the pelvis. Yes,
From the supercontinent Pangaea, massive tectonic forces caused the landmass to
AR 16 verses 9.
Traveling at immense speed, the asteroid struck with the force of billions of atoms.
AR 16 a 9.
A
fragile new life enters the world, a testament to endurance against all odds.
Jurassic, a time of vibrant life and immense scale, where the winged rulers of the sky soar above the ancient delta.
AR 16-9.
AR 16-9.
A gentle touch across millions of years, connecting us to a time before man.
The Cognathus, a small feathered hunter, launches itself in pursuit of the giant Meganeura, a display of speed and precision.
AR 16-9.
Amber, often called the window to the past, provides exquisite detail of prehistoric life.
AR 16 verse 9.
The Mosasaur, a true leviathan of the deep, dominated the ancient oceans with unmatched power. Unlike mammals, the dinosaur's lungs utilized a highly efficient unidirectional airflow system.
AR 16 Virati 9.
AR 16 Vort 9.
The evolutionary links between modern avians and their theropod dinosaur ancestors are striking.
AR 16-9.
The evolutionary links between modern avians and their theropod dinosaur ancestors are striking.
AR 16-9. AR 16-9. AR 16-9.
AR 16-9.
AR 16 versus N9.
The vibrant lines you see illustrate the flow of energy in this ancient ecosystem.
This valley, untouched by time, is a sanctuary for the largest creatures that ever lived. This valley, untouched by time, is a sanctuary for the largest creatures that ever lived.
The Mesozoic era is divided into three periods: the Triassic, the lush Jurassic. The Mesozoic era is divided into three periods: the Triassic, the lush Jurassic.
AR 16-9.